Hello. I just wanted to hop on. I had a few things that I wanted to go over in this live, but one of them is um, changes. So we are, constantly wanting to grow and change as human beings. We want to manifest, and that's, magical and fantastic, and we need to have those desires. But when the awareness comes that this comes with little changes, and little changes create big ripples and big changes in who you are, and really having a look over your life as to where can I make changes, and where have I wanted to make change that I have not been making changes. And uh, understanding that there's always going to be, these ingrained pushbacks that are they're powerful. They're really strengthened and powered with an entire lifetime of doing things a specific way. But when we come down to the reality of it, is that specific way that we've been doing and living creating the results that we want? Because if it's not, we need to start pushing back through these habits. And habits can be a really powerful thing, but they can come down to sleeping in. They can come down to telling yourself that there's a need to rest all the time. And resting is good. If you are an overachiever and you never fill your cup and you never calm down, then maybe your pushback is calming down. But a lot of us fall into almost a laziness category, and it's I'm not saying it to be negative. I'm saying it because it reflects in myself as well, and pushing back on that, because who you want to be is that person, the person that is lazy, the person that sleeps in. Because if you're wanting to be that person and you're not making those changes to become that person, then how is there ever going to be a manifestation and a change? Like, I just want that reality really to really sit, like, come in. Like, do you understand that it comes down to, I'm reading You Were Born Rich, and to um, think of the razor's edge. And this is a chapter in You Were Born Rich, a fantastic book. If you guys have not already been, I can see my internet's being a little weird here. Hold on. Oh, this isn't connected. The Razor's Edge is a chapter in You Were Born Rich. If you have Audible, or you can get a free download from the Proctor and Gallagher Institute. I highly recommend that you start reading it, and read it in a different way than you always have. Read it one chapter at a time, and read it for an entire week, every single day, so that um, all the distractions that happen in life truly, you truly get that subconscious. It really sinks in. And this chapter is called The Razor's Edge, and that's where I am in this book club. So it all kind of really fits in. And the Razor's Edge, is, it teaches, the razor's edge is literally how you prosper in life. Like, should you listen to an audiobook for half an hour every single day of your life? Think of how much change is going to come from that. Think of how much growth. Think of how much you're going to know and do in just a year, in 365 days. So think of, if you got up every day and you worked out for 10 minutes, or you went for a walk for 10 minutes, which is not going to interrupt your schedule, it is not going to kill you. Think of how much your body's going to change. Think of how secure your mind is going to be. It's all about these little tiny changes that you implement, instead of trying to do this massive leap and then feeling like, okay, well, I couldn't even make it to the bank to stand on. I just fell into the abyss. You just start by building and creating these little changes, and then in a year's time, you'll look back and you'll be a completely different person. So if you're trying to change your results, and you're trying to change who you are, you need to start doing this. You need to start making decisions to push back from these behaviors that you do every single day. And you need to start pick one thing, one area of your life that you want to change and start implementing it and leverage yourself. Tell somebody that you're going to do it for a specific amount of time at the same time every day and leverage yourself so that you do feel a little, guilty when you don't do it. I set it up. I'm doing the 2 weeks, 30 minutes of exercise. And I decided that that wasn't pushing myself hard enough, specifically because this Thinking into Results program has literally trained me to push harder than I've ever known before. I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. So I'm going to tell all of you guys I'll be getting up at 6 a.m. and I will be having my exercise by 7 a.m. for 30 minutes minimum. And I'm going to try to commit to getting outside because it really does a lot of energetic rebalancing for me. Hi, Jen. Need to reread that book. Been years. Yes. And read it in a different way because it takes repetition to really truly start absorbing something that you're reading. So pick a good quality book like that, or Napoleon's Hill. Um, Think and Grow Rich is another one that you want to read over and over again. The Science of Getting Rich. All of these are not even necessarily just about money. They're about how to grow and how to become the person that you want to be. So I truly, the Razor's Edge is a really powerful chapter. And maybe just because it's in my awareness right now, you take yourself, say you've got your own business and you're thinking this, there's all these BS paradigm excuses, and your paradigm saying, okay, well, I'm trying to channel. I want to be a channeler and I want to make my business that way. But there's so many other people channeling. Okay, well, first of all, that's a huge excuse because there is only one you, and there's only one you, that there are thousands of people that are meant to hear the messages from you, not from, amazing Betty next door, from you. And you think of this person that is meditating every day. That's their Razor's Edge. They're meditating every day and they're getting outside for a walk. They're doing things that strengthen their psychic abilities and their connection, and they're doing it with intent. And then you take the person that just does it, that isn't, working towards their end goal, that isn't, trying to grow and strengthen themselves. Who do you think is going to, in 365 days, come not ahead, but attract more people because they're flourishing? It's not a competition. That's not what I mean by this, but that Razor's Edge is for yourself. Think of the drastic change if Betty next door and this person were the same person, and this is what she used to do and this is what she wanted to implement. Those are the huge differences in Betty transforming. I don't know why I chose Betty, but apparently we're doing Betty today. And the awareness last night of, we need to really start seeing our power and start seeing where we're manifesting. There's somebody in my life that is on a very, very, very restricted budget. They don't have a lot in life, but this person does not see how much they're given. Their people are always sending stuff to them. They are always able to buy things. It blows my mind because their budget is so restricted. I don't even understand how they're able to get the things that they're getting. So it triggered in me a lesson of, well, where do I manifest where I'm not aware of it? Because she's not aware of that, and it's a beautiful thing. You're always supported. You're always, you're always working within a certain paradigm, and that's a beautiful thing because you never end up homeless because of it. You always recreate. You always have certain scenarios that you're manifesting in your life, and this Razor's Edge will help you to change that circle of where your paradigm keeps you. It's pushing back on these habits. It's little things. It's reading for 30 minutes a day. It's putting on an audiobook in your car because you drive a lot. For those of you that go to work and drive, you drive a lot. I drive 40 minutes every single day. So when I get into the car, I play an audiobook and I do it with intent. I play the same thing over and over again to try to, get this into my awareness. And these little things are what are making huge results in just 6 months. So I really wanted to share because I think that it it it's so easy to think that manifesting is just bringing this reality and poof, it lands on us and everything shifts and changes. And yes, it is like that, but it is also lots of steps of working towards that. You have to be willing to pay the price for it, and that is, pushing against the paradigms. I'm reading The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Definitely worth an add to the book list. A bit different than the books you talk about, but the Grow Still. Oh, I love her. And it is a bit different, but still a very, very beautiful thing. I think that, when we come into ourselves and we learn vulnerability and all these things that she teaches, she is a fantastic self-help empowerment woman. I love everything that she does. So yes, I think that we should start maybe a book list in here like I had in Compassion Calling. So I will eventually, I'll write that down, Jen, for sure. So I wrote something down that I'm going to read out because it was a bit of a channeled message for sure yesterday. And I put, just as you have to do the inner work to be ready and prepared to have a connection with intimacy and vulnerability with someone, you need to do the same with your purpose. So we spend a lot of time when we've gone through traumas and we are, we have unhealthy attachment styles and we're not getting the results that we want with relationships. A lot of the time we're very motivated to go to therapy and to do the work and to shift that and change that. It's exactly the same thing with your purpose. You were given a beautiful and unique purpose. You just need to unlock your full potential. Being seen by others is just as vulnerable as connecting with another soul. You have to be ready to be transparent. Your self-image and self-worth paradigm decide whether you're ready or not. Say yes to you. Unleash that person inside screaming to be let out. You will feel it in your heart when you're ready. I can help you transform your experiences into the purpose you came here to do. So these are, a lot of the times we're just walking around and we're like, I feel this need to do a specific thing. I feel this calling and I feel um, I know I have certain things I want to do, but then my experiences and my habits and my the way that I'm creating myself every day is not in vibration with that. And, I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of tools that I would love to help. And I do that freely in this group. So, those of you that are a part of it, if there's anybody that wants some tips and tricks, I suggest that you help add them in here. I do ask that anybody that adds people to this group, please give them a message first. Don't just bombard a whole bunch of people into this group. That's not how I want to grow this group. I want people to be wanting to be a part of what's going to be growing and shifting in this group. And I have learned a lot in the last 6 months and a lot in the last 6 to 10 years in growing and shifting. And I do tend to be a lot on the logical side, so I've learned a lot about attachment styles and how to heal that in yourself, because when your attachment styles are off, your connections with everybody is off, and that's including when you want to grow a self-help business or you want to heal people, all of that kind of stuff. So that healing needs to come from the inside, and you need to make yourself ready. So how do you make yourself ready? You do it by these little steps. So that's why I wanted to hop on and talk about, little things that you can do to transform yourself, and start asking yourself, why did I spend 3 hours on TikTok or on Facebook, or why did I spend the whole day just messaging people on Facebook? It's good to communicate, it's good to socialize, and it's really great to help, fuel those connections, and that's important. But if you're doing it all day long, are you truly getting anything done for yourself? Is this your self-care? Like, you have to start asking these questions. And it's so easy to come up with these excuses. Um, I'm coming up against them right now. It's like, well, I'm tired, I need to sleep. Well, do you actually need to sleep for 8 hours? Is it that important? Because I find 6 to 8 hours, I'm fine. So 6 hours, there's a razor's edge right there. I get 2 hours more in my day to get things done. I'm not exhausted. It doesn't drain me. There's a razor's edge right there, and it's a paradigm. I definitely have, a little bit of a lazy paradigm. I don't like working out. I'm pushing against that because that creates who I want to be. I want to be a healthy body and mind, and in order to have a healthy mind, I have to have a healthy body. So these are all little things that help shift and grow you, and 30 minutes a day of learning something to help change you. This is a really, really important and powerful tool to really shift and get the results that you want. Find a good book, a good tool, and invest, and stop making excuses, because that's what they are, and that's what your paradigm is meant to do, is keep you exactly in that same rut. That same experience that you keep living over and over and over again is because of your paradigm. And your paradigm's always going to do it. So you got to push back, and there's ways to reprogram that you can learn from multiple sources. Crystal and Roxanne, for sure, myself, Randina Marie, all of these people teach how to change these paradigms that are holding you hostage. But you start by making little decisions to change, and if you do anything, is start feeding that mind of yours. Start feeding it instead of scrolling and looking at all these things on Facebook that are not going to fill your mind with anything. Start investing in yourself. Start showing that you care. Start filling that cup, and filling that cup is, strengthening your mind, because your mind creates everything. So that's my rant for today. I really felt strongly about it. That was a really powerful lesson for me last night. Um, it made me really start thinking. I'm so grateful we are helping others together. Yes, it's beautiful. And the awareness that came to me last night of all these magical circumstances and things that we are manifesting, that we aren't even aware of doing it. And we always want to look to, like, what we're not manifesting and what isn't happening in our life. But if we compare it to a lot of people on this planet, I wake up and I have never once had to worry about money. I have had to budget. Yes, that's a completely different thing. But I've never had to worry about money. Even in the worst circumstances, I have always been supported in some sort of way. I have a beautiful place. I've always had a beautiful place to live. I have a vehicle. I have so many connections and friendships. I have a great job. I have another great business. I have all of these things. And um, compare that to other people on this planet. There are people that are living outside on the streets that don't know where they're going to get their next meal. And we're sitting there complaining about, well, it's not the experience that I want. I want to make $1 million. Okay, yes, but start being grateful for what you have, and start noticing it, and start, giving energy to that positivity and those things that really do happen. Combine that with making those little razor's edge changes, and you're truly gonna, you're gonna go huge, huge shifts and huge grows. That's not even how you say it, but anyways, it's cute. You're gonna grow very big and in big ways in 1 year. So think about that when we're, for those of you that like to go out and do stuff with people a lot, that's great. It's connections. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to play. You're not supposed to do this to the point where you don't enjoy life. But if you're always using it as an excuse to get out and distract yourself and overworking yourself, all of these different experiences, not to look at yourself inwards and not to grow, that's where you are going to see your biggest changes is in these little tiny steps and these little tiny choices that you make every single day. So leverage yourself. I am doing 2 weeks of getting up at 6 a.m. I decided to push myself even harder because I felt like I was being a little lazy about it. So I'm going to be getting up at 6 a.m. and I am going to be doing 30 minutes of exercise. I am going to aim, if it's a nice day out, to always be outside because that helps with my connection and my groundedness and my centeredness and helps really fill my cup. So I'll walk, run, and my end goal is to be able to run. So doing that every day for the next 2 weeks started today, day 1 today. I'm leveraging myself by letting people know, and I would be interested to see who wants to leverage their selves for the next 2 weeks. What is it that you would like to make a change of? And from 2 weeks, I'm just going to keep going, but 2 weeks is my goal for right now. That is my 100% commitment. That's my focus. That's my push against my paradigms. And I just wanted to share with you guys in here because you guys are my loves. I love each and every one of you. And I wanted to share some awareness. So thank you for joining me, those of you that joined, Roxanne and Jen. And thank you for those that are watching the replay. I am going to hop on in a little bit on the business page and probably stream to here if I can figure it out about Pluto retrograde, because today is Pluto retrograde. So there's a lot of energies happening, and I'm going to commit to myself in my business and my own self to start sharing these energetic updates that I know are happening with the Schumann resonance and with what's happening astrology wise to help people who are already doing a lot of growth connect to the spiritual side of life and really start leveraging themselves even more that way with being in tune with these energies and understanding. Because when we have understanding, we get a lot less resistance. So have a great day, you guys.